channel, or welcome to my channel if you haven't been here before. My name is Ada, aka Orchata Mami, aka Athena420, and today I have something a little bit different for you guys. So we're covering a murder trial. Usually I like to cover supernatural, urban legends, spooky things like that. But my background is in political reporting. I've never covered courts before, but I'm going to try my best for this video because it's a lot. Covering courts is a lot, and I have so much respect for those reporters that do this on a daily. So we are on day 7 of the trial of Kyle Rittenhouse. And if you don't remember, Kyle was the teenager who was 17 at the time. He's 18 now, who shot 3 people, killing 2 of them and wounding the 3rd man in Kenosha, Wisconsin, during protests that were against racial injustice. The ongoing protests caused Kyle to cross state lines from his home in Antioch, Illinois, into Kenosha, Wisconsin with an AR-15 semi-automatic rifle. The incident happened near a used car dealership where the owners of the dealership are emphasizing that they did not give Kyle or the group he was with permission to protect their property, because this is what Kyle has been saying, is that he was there to protect, pretty much to take care of people there or to protect people's property. Sahil Kindry, who goes by Sal, said that he never gave permission to Kyle or anybody else in the group that he was with to protect his property. He said that the group kind of showed up randomly and that he was impressed by all the gear that they were wearing, but he was afraid to ask them to leave. But he did, however, pose for a photo with the group, and this was shown in court. Sal said during his testimony that the group that Kyle was with, said that they were there to protect Kenosha. So Rittenhouse actually took the stand, and he said that he was there to protect property, and then he said that he had shot these people out of self-defense because they were attacking him and he was afraid for his life. Loyola Marymount University law professor Lori Levinson said that it's not usual for a defendant to take the stand during these cases, but this isn't a typical case. She said that most lawyers would agree that Kyle taking the stand in this case would hurt his case more than it would benefit him. So Phil Turner, a former federal prosecutor turned defense attorney in Chicago, said that if Kyle was his client, he wouldn't have put him on the stand. However, personally, I think that Kyle being on the stand can really help his case, just because I think it really humanizes him. Just him getting emotional on the stand can help him reach some of those jurors and probably make them sympathize with him. So I think it was a bold move in the defense's part, but I think that it will eventually end up helping them rather than hurting them. The prosecution cross-examined Kyle about the night of the shooting, and things got pretty heated, not only between Kyle and the prosecutor, but the judge as well. Before the prosecution began, Kyle said that he had feared for his life, and that's why he shot these people. Several news sources have reported that this can be a pivotal testimony in the trial. Kyle said that his friend Dominic Black actually bought the rifle for him, and he chose the rifle because it, quote unquote, looked cool. And he also said that the rifle got in the way at the protest of him trying to help people, and that if he thought that he could legally carry a handgun, he would have preferred to have a handgun instead. He was also asked about an interview he gave reporters the night of the shooting, where one of the camera people asked him if he was a certified EMT, and Kyle said he was, when in fact he wasn't. Prosecuting attorney Thomas Binger brought up video games during questioning, kind of insinuating that the reason that Kyle had chosen an AR-15 rifle was because it resembled the firearms that are used in first-person shooter games. But Kyle responded that there are all kinds of weapons and guns in video games, and that video games are just that, games, and they're not real life. And I'm gonna have to go ahead and agree with Kyle because on Binger's part, I don't think that it was wise to bring this up. That's such an outdated idea, like I don't think that video games have anything to do with violence in real life. I don't know why it was brought up in the first place, but if anything, it's kind of hurting the prosecution's case. Kyle insisted that he really didn't do anything wrong. He said that he was protecting himself, and when he was recounting the night where, the shootings happened, he broke down during his testimony, causing the judge to call for a break. And while he was breaking down, the cameras panned over to his mom, who was also crying. According to a criminal complaint that was filed last year, um, Kyle Rittenhouse and Joseph Rosenbaum were in the same area, and you can see them kind of coming close together. And then you hear a couple of loud bangs, and then you see Rosenbaum fall on the floor. And Kyle said that the reason he shot Joseph was because he was trying to get Kyle's gun, and he said that he would have used it against him, so he would have killed him with his own gun, so that's why he chose to shoot him. Kyle also said that he shot another man on the scene right after he shot Joseph, after the other guy struck him with his skateboard. And that other man was Anthony Huber, who was there with his girlfriend at the protests. And his girlfriend, Hannah Giddings, was there to experience his death, which is really, really sad and heartbreaking. She said, quote, "He pushed me out of the way and ran off. I tried to grab him," end quote. And she referred to what Huber had done as a heroic thing. Rittenhouse testified that the third victim, Gage Grosskreutz, lunged at him, and he had his pistol pointed at Kyle's head. And then Kyle shot him, wounding Gage, but he survived. Gage was wearing a paramedic hat during the protest, and he said his goal during the protest was to help support people and help people that might have been injured because he was in fact a trained paramedic. Gage took the witness stand on Monday and kind of recounted the confrontation between him and Kyle. His friend also took the stand because, get this, right after the shooting, his friend had posted some things on social media kind of suggesting that uh, Gage was trying to kill Kyle and that he had no remorse and that he wished he would have killed him. But when his friend took the stand, he said that, like, no, this, I made that up. Like, he didn't say that, it was just in the moment kind of thing. And he was questioned heavily about these posts that he made. But in the end, he said that he made it up and that Gage never said these things. Now, Thomas Binger got into, I don't want to say arguments, but he got into it with the judge a little bit during his cross-examination of Kyle, which actually made the judge have to tell the jury to leave the room so he can talk to him about his line of questioning. The first issue the judge had with Binger was about him bringing up Kyle's silence after the shooting, which is actually protected under the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution. You have the right to remain silent. That's a thing. So he actually said, and I'm going to quote here, "The problem is that this grave constitutional violation for you to talk about the defendant's silence, you're right on the borderline, and you may be over, but it needs to stop," end quote. Now, my opinion about Binger's methods is that it almost seems like he's just throwing things out there and waiting and hoping that they're going to stick. And I don't think that that's benefiting him at all. I don't think that that's benefiting the prosecution at all. I think that he needs to take a step back when he goes back into the courtroom and probably not argue with the judge. I mean, he's kind of been a little bit aggressive, um, and I don't know if that's a good thing. The second time Schroeder asked the jury to leave the room was related to questions about an incident that happened 2 weeks before the shootings that Schroeder had said that would not be permitted to come into the courtroom, but the prosecutor, uh, actually brought it up. Some witnesses that were called by prosecutors have testified that Joseph Rosenbaum threatened to kill Kyle and ran toward him and chased him down. And that Anthony Huber rushed up to him with his skateboard and hit him with his skateboard. And that Groschkritz pointed a gun at him while he was sitting in the street. Bystander video kind of supports all of these claims. Other witnesses have testified that right after the shooting, Kyle went up to him and told him that he had to pull the trigger. Judge Schroeder closed out the hearing for the day, saying that a conclusion will be reached by next Tuesday, November 16th. Now, these are the charges that Kyle is facing. First-degree reckless homicide with the use of a dangerous weapon, which is punishable with up to 60 years, 60 years in prison, with an extra 5 years for the dangerous weapon part. First degree reckless endangering safety with the use of a dangerous weapon, and that is 12 and a half years. First degree intentional homicide with the use of a dangerous weapon, which is a mandatory life sentence. Attempted first degree intentional homicide with the use of a dangerous weapon, which is a maximum sentence of 60 years, and again, an extra 5 years for the dangerous weapon. Possession of a dangerous weapon by a person under 18, which is a misdemeanor and is punishable for up to 9 months behind bars. He also faced failure to comply with an emergency order from state or local government for being out on the streets after the 8 p.m. curfew imposed by the city. It's a minor offense that carries up to a $200 fine, but Judge Schroeder dismissed this charge after the defense argued that the prosecution hadn't offered enough evidence for this charge. And those are all the updates I have about the Kyle Rittenhouse case right now. Stay tuned for more updates here on my channel. And as always, thank you for watching. Thank you for coming to see me. And don't forget to like, subscribe, even share my video if you want. I appreciate all the support that I've been getting, and it just makes me want to keep on creating. Also, follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I'll put those links down below. And thank you. I'll see you next time. Bye.